Welcome back to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference, empowering the good. And we love having our Shelby County Sheriff come on, talking about the good and in ways that we can give back and make a difference and help them when it comes to protecting our community. We're honored to be joined by our Shelby County Sheriff, Floyd Bonner Jr. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Jeremy. Pleasure to be with you as always.
Well, you do tremendous good, you and your team. Thank you for your efforts in protecting our community for sure. Let's start out. I love having you kind of paint the picture so we understand kind of what the Sheriff's Office is responsible for, but talk about Shelby County Sheriff's Office and the responsibilities, and then we'll dive into job openings and all sorts of good stuff.
Okay, very good. Yeah, we're a full-service law enforcement agency, Jeremy. We do it all from the courtrooms to patrol division to SWAT teams, narcotics teams, fugitive divisions. I mean, civil papers. We're the guys that knock on your door at 5 o'clock in the morning when you hadn't paid a bill. Okay, but you know, we're a full-service law enforcement agency. We're CLIA certified. We mainly patrol out in unincorporated areas of Shelby County, and we do work inside of the city limits of Memphis and all the municipalities. But we're very proud of our staff and the officers that give their all each and every day.
Give us a couple of the main challenges that are kind of front and center right now, and I'm thinking like, is it theft from motor vehicles? What are you do a number of kind of events and things like that, really putting out all the information. And so I'm just thinking, what are some of the main things that people just need to have top of mind right now?
Well, I'll tell you, theft from motor vehicles, you're right on target with that. With the new gun laws that we have, people being able to carry guns in their cars and even on their person. Theft from motor vehicle is huge in Shelby County right now. These perpetrators are going out, breaking into cars, and that's what they're looking for. They're looking for weapons. I think I saw a statistic the other day that already in Memphis, we've had over 1,500 weapons stolen out of cars already in the city of Memphis. Now, we know what gun violence looked like here in our town with all the things that have gone on, but these are additional 1,500 weapons that are out on the streets now. And so I would encourage our citizens that if you're gonna carry a gun, if you're gonna keep a gun in your car, please remember to take that weapon with you inside. And I think that's what happens a lot of time is that our citizens are not used to carrying a weapon. And so through all the rigors of the day and, you know, kids and, you know, going to practices, we forget the weapon is in the car, which we shouldn't, because if we've got kids in our car, we definitely should have that weapon secure. But we forget the weapon is in the car, and then we go in the house, and then it's dinner time, homework time, and we just kind of take our mind off of it, and then someone comes along and breaks into your car, and now we have another illegal weapon out on the streets of Memphis. So we're really trying to talk to our citizens about parking smart, about locking up your valuables, taking your weapons inside, and keep these guns off the streets here.
Yeah, stow it, don't show it, for sure.
Absolutely.
Give us one more thing, either on maybe the home side, keeping your home secure, keeping the shrubs trimmed back. You know, what's one or two other things you want everyone to know in terms of protecting their home, their automobile, and keeping things safe?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I mean, you kind of hit on it, cutting those shrubs down in the front of your house, because even at night, those are opportunities that burglars or even home invaders have to hide from us when we're coming down the street, when we're doing patrol division, lighting your house up at night, especially if you live in unincorporated areas of Shelby County. Then if you have cameras on your home, I'd like to take that opportunity to tell you about our S.H.A.R.E program. We don't want to have access to your cameras, but we would love for you to register those cameras with us. So if a crime does occur, we know where home cameras are, and it could save our detectives a tremendous amount of time trying to, and you may not have been the victim of the crime. One of your neighbors may have, but we could have possibly picked up a vehicle or a person of interest walking down the street. So please go to our website and register your cameras. You can send the footage in anonymously. You won't have to come in and testify in court or anything, but it's just another tool for our detectives to be able to use.
Speaking of tool, this kind of ties into a new initiative, but talk about now this partnership. It's a crisis intervention initiative that allows you to tap in and have mental health experts kind of team up with you.
Well, we're really excited about this opportunity, Jeremy. We have a grant that will go for the next 3 years. And I've been really working with Dorcas Young Griffith over in county government community services to get this for the sheriff's office. We've been training our officers in our crisis intervention team for the past 20 or 30 years. But even though our officers have that 40-hour training, it's about de-escalation and things like that. Now we will have an opportunity to have a mental health professional to go with us when we receive those type of calls. Now, naturally, we've got to go in and make sure the scene is secure, but to have that mental health professional there to really sum up what's really going on, be able to offer the family resources, because it's an alternative to jail. And certainly we don't want to take people to jail, especially someone that's in a mental health crisis. But a lot of times due to bed shortages, that's where they wind up. So we're really excited about it. We're hoping to be able to divert those people that are going through a crisis at that moment away from jail and get them the help that they need, and more importantly, get that family the help that they need, so we can keep everybody happy, keep everybody safe. But we're really excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about kind of where you are right now with staffing overall, and then where you would like to be, which will lead us into job openings and opportunities for the community to plug in.
Yes, sir. We are still about 65 deputies short, but I'm right at 300 correction officers short. We're trying to come up with a very robust hiring procedure. We're hiring marketing firms, and you'll probably be seeing some of our commercials and all the things, Facebook, Twitter. We're really trying to be aggressive to go out. And now that the residency requirement no longer exists, we will be reaching out to North Mississippi or parts over in Arkansas, even northern Tennessee, to try to get people in. But you could imagine being that many correction officers down, what a stress and a strain that it puts on the system. Our officers right now are having to work mandatory overtime. And quite frankly, Jeremy, we have a tired workforce, and I understand that as a sheriff. But we even lowered our age group down to 18. That does not mean that we'll hire every 18-year-old, because every 18-year-old is not mature enough to work in a jail. But there are areas in the jail that an 18-year-old could work. These jobs are starting off at $41,000 a year, plus a $5,000 signing bonus. So an 18-year-old kid coming out of high school that doesn't quite know what they really want to do, your first year, you could make $46,000, $47,000 a year. And the great part about that is you can move out of mom and dad's house. You can go get a place of your own. But no, we're aggressively trying to recruit and fill these spots in our deputies. I know of some of our other law enforcement partners, we laugh all the time because we're fishing out of the same pond, if you will. And so, and it's about the process. If we try to be faster than some of our other partners, because usually when an applicant applies, he's going to take the job from the first person that calls them. So we're in the race with everybody else to get that process completed to hire people. But I started off in corrections. Correction is a great opportunity for young people, because you're 18 and legally you can't carry a gun, you can't be a law enforcement officer. But however, if you get in early, you might fall in love with it, might want to make a career of it, but you can also springboard your career in law enforcement from corrections, and you learn a lot about people, structure, discipline, and everything working in the jail.
Absolutely. You also have a number of ways that citizens can plug in. You have the Citizens Academy. You have a new one starting up in October 4th. You also have an open house coming up as well. So talk about different ways that the community can plug in beyond even just the full-time jobs.
Yeah, we just had a very successful Citizens Academy. We just graduated about 50 citizens. These were citizens that had an opportunity. As I say, we no holds barred. I mean, we talk about everything. I even have a stint where about an hour and a half that I come in and I talk with the class and allow them to ask me questions about the sheriff's office. And we feed you. And one of the ladies told me in the last class she's going to really miss not having to cook on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because she came out and we gave them a great meal. But you can also attend by virtually. We're starting another class up on October the 4th. Please, if you're interested, go on and sign up now, because we had to turn people away on our last class. We usually try to get to 50. That's about as much as we can handle. If it depends on how much of the class will go virtual, want to go attend virtually, naturally, we could do more than 50 in-house, but sign up early. Go to our website. It's already there. That class will be starting October the 4th. Would love to have all our citizens to come in and sign up. And then we're having an open house on May the 21st out at 989 Dovecrest, where if you're interested in becoming a reserve officer or any type of volunteer, emergency service, volunteer services, those folks check on the elderly for us. But we're having an open house, and you get a chance to come out and talk to officers or volunteers that are already doing the job. So if you have some time and you want to give back to this great community of ours, that's a perfect way to do it. We're always looking for volunteers, and it's so rewarding when you have an opportunity to check on the elderly or make that ambulance call when a citizen's have been hurt in a car accident or at home, or if you really kind of have a itch to be in law enforcement. Our reserve division, we train them the same way we train our regular deputies, and there's an opportunity as well.
Well, and I like going back to like what you said on your end, starting your career in corrections, and that there is tremendous amount of upward mobility and career growth. And so you have
Absolutely.
the personal growth, but you have the professional growth, and you're giving back to the community. And so talk about overall, when you look at the power of working full-time with Shelby County Sheriff's Office, but also too as a volunteer, as a citizen, talk about kind of that purpose of giving back, serving your community, and really the importance of being a part of Shelby County Sheriff's Office.
Well, I mean, Jeremy, obviously you have to have a servant heart, and to give back to your community. You want to see your community do better. I know I talk to citizens all the time out in the community, and everyone is always asking me, Sheriff, what can I do to help? So instead of being on the couch potato criticizing and not doing anything, hey, get out there. It doesn't even have to be the sheriff's office. I was talking to a group of men just the other day, and I'll tell you, these young kids need so many mentors out there. If the sheriff's office is not your niche, then get involved with a church organization. Be a mentor. My wife is part of Team Read, where she's going to schools, elementary schools, trying to help these kids be able to learn how to read. And she comes home in tears sometimes because kids are so far behind with their reading and stuff. So there are just so many volunteer opportunities out here in the community. And we've all got to roll our sleeves up. If we want a better community, we've got to roll our sleeves up and get out there and try to help our community grow and get better. And we can do it. It's just that everyone is so busy, and everyone is but just find the time. I promise you, it's so rewarding when you see kids smile, and the the kids that I talk to that are even incarcerated, many of them will tell you it's because they didn't have a role model in their lives. They didn't have a father or brother or uncle. That's why I'm specifically hitting at my men, because the mothers do a great job raising kids, but sometimes these little boys and girls need to hear it from a man's point of view. You know, we need to teach them how to become good young men, productive young men, and show them the way to be successful in life. My wife and I raised 2 boys, and we always talk to them about, you know, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And then when they would tell us, then you would have to tell them, okay, this is how you get there. This is what you do to prepare yourself for that chosen field. So a lot of times kids just need that direction, if you will. And you can do it, you know, volunteer. I told that men group just one. If all of us would just be responsible for one child, we could turn this thing around big time here in Memphis and Shelby County.
Well, one of your initiatives working with youth is an Adopt a School program. So talk about that.
Yeah. But Jeremy, we had our first fishing rodeo back on April the 8th. Our Adopt a School, Valentine Elementary. We had about 75 kids out at a lake that's adjacent to our pistol range. The TWRA, the Tennessee Wildlife folks, they stocked the lake for us. I tell you, it was a miserable weather day, but we had a great time with those kids. You know, we had so many volunteers out there to help the kids to bait their hooks and get the fish off the hook. And they were fishing for catfish. And I tell you, a memory that I will always take away, to see one handicapped kid that was in a wheelchair to catch his first fish, and to see that smile on that young man's face when he was able to pull that fish in. And I tell you, at another one, I saw another little kid when they were getting off the bus, when we were telling him about fishing. He said, "Sheriff Bonner, I already know how to fish." And I said, "Well, okay, we'll see what you can do." And I mean, within about 5 minutes, Jeremy, he had caught a fish, and he took the fish off the hook, and then he started chasing the little girls around the lake, you know, and they were screaming and we were laughing. I mean, it was really a good time. We fed the kids lunch. Thank you for all the sponsors that we had to donate equipment. And I hate to call names because I'm going to miss somebody, but we had a tremendous amount of sponsors to help us do this. And it was a very rewarding day. It was an opportunity for the kids to be around law enforcement in a different setting. And they got a chance to have a positive experience with law enforcement. So those are the type of things that we've got to do as a community to build those relationships. We've got to do as a sheriff's office to build those community relations with these kids. And I promise you, the kids that were there, they'll never forget it, because I tell you, each and every one of them, all of them, I think it was one little girl that didn't catch a fish, but she wasn't upset about it because she really didn't want to catch a fish, you know. But the rest of them had a ball, man. It was really a lot of fun. So hopefully it will become a yearly event for us. And again, Valentine is our Adopt a School anyway. We do so many things for them at Christmas time, and we've had sponsors like with Carnival Memphis and everyone to really help us over there doing Christmas, buying Christmas presents. And Miss Peterson, the principal over there, is just a tremendous person to work with. And so we have a very good relationship with that school.
I love it. We'll wrap up with contact information. So where do we go to get involved? I know you mentioned between registering the cameras and learning more about the Citizens Academy October 4th, the new reserve class, job openings. Where do we go?
Man, go to our website, www.shelby-sheriff.org. And you can hit volunteer button, any button, you're hiring buttons. I mean, we've got it all on there, and you can find all that information on there. And you can follow us on Facebook, and we're Twittering, and we're really trying to hit all the communication networks that we possibly can, but you can follow us. But go to our website, and if you're looking for a job, the application process is right there on it. If you'd like to volunteer, more information about the volunteer services, all the volunteer services that we have, it's all on the website, and just go in there and just click away.
Nice. Well, Sheriff Bonner, greatly appreciate all you and your amazing team do. Thank you for your service to our community, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having us. It's always a pleasure. Thank you, Jeremy.